Hello everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to start this reading vlog. This is going to be a 24-hour smut-a-thon vlog. And for those of you guys that don't know, smut-a-thon is a read-a-thon that is hosted by Riley Marie and Ginger Reads Laney. I will be sure to link down below the Twitter page for the smut-a-thon in case you guys want to check out future smut-a-thons. So I'm just really excited to read some fun smutty books for the next 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my TBR. So I didn't want to be too ambitious for this read-a-thon TBR, so I only have 2 books that I really want to get done, but I think I'll be able to read more than that. We'll just have to see. But the first one I'm reading is the optional group book, which is Only for a Night, and this is a novella. It's a very short book, and I don't know much about the plot except that it involves an Irish ex-mob guy who now is the co-owner of a sex club in Boston, and it is a second chance romance, and that's really all I know about it. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this because it's going to be really short and sweet. And then the other book that I definitely want to get done is the Duchess Steal by Tessa Dare. Tessa Dare is an author that I wanted to check out for a really long time because so many people on BookTube really love her books, and I have a feeling that I will as well. She writes historical romance novels, and I don't know much about this book either, except that it is part of a 3-book series so far, and this one is a marriage of convenience story, and that's really it. I'm definitely going into this pretty blind, but I am just so excited to get into both of these books, and I really hope that I'll get to read more than that during this 24 hours, but we'll just have to see. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go read Only for a Night first, and probably finish the whole thing, and then I will give you guys an update. Hey guys, it's just about 3 a.m. I thought I would give you guys a reading update. So I actually just read the entirety of Only for a Night, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I actually ended up buying the second book in this series for my Kindle because that's how much I enjoyed it. So I guess I'll just give you guys a brief synopsis. So this book centers around Ryan and Harper. Ryan is a guy who was in the Irish mob, and him and his 2 best friends eventually got out of the mob and opened up a sex club together. And then we have Harper, who was actually Ryan's best friend when they were in high school together, and Harper actually wanted them to be something more, and so did Ryan, but he ended up kind of pushing her away because he was in the mob and he knew that he wasn't good enough for her. And so at this point in their story, 5 years has passed, and so she shows up to his sex club, and she has her own traumas that she's dealt with. None of this are spoilers or anything because all of this stuff is talked about at the very beginning of the book. So with Harper, she was married to this guy named Terrence, but he passed away 2 years before, so she's dealing with that grief as well as the grief of miscarrying her daughter Carly, who she was about 7 months pregnant with. But yeah, even though this book was pretty short, I think it's about 120, 130 pages or so, it's a very intense read, and it is very steamy. I highly recommend it. I'm just really glad that Riley and Laney made this a group book because I know that I wouldn't have picked it up otherwise because I've never heard of this author, I've never heard of her books before, and I've actually never really heard any booktubers talk about her. But yeah, this was really good. So for the rest of the night, I think what I'm gonna do now is maybe edit a couple of clips for this vlog, and then I'm probably gonna watch an episode of Angel, which for those of you guys that don't know, Angel is the spin-off series to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've actually been watching both of these shows in tandem for the very first time, actually, because Heather from Bookables and a few other booktubers have been doing a slay along. I think it started back in February, where basically we all watch a season of Buffy per month, and then at the end of each month there is a live show where they discuss all the episodes and things like that. But I kind of had to fall behind on my watching schedule because I was out of town and I had really shoddy internet and stuff. So now this past month I actually got to watch season 4 of Buffy, and right now I'm watching season 1 of Angel, and I'm really enjoying Angel. I didn't think I would like this show very much, honestly, even though I've always liked Angel's character. I don't know, spin-off series don't really appeal to me that much. But honestly, I'm loving it just as much, if not more, than Buffy right now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go watch an episode of that. And then I think I'll try to get started on the Duchess Steal by Tessa Dare before going to bed tonight. I definitely will have to at least take a short nap tonight. There's just no way that I'm going to be able to stay up for a full 24 hours. So I probably won't do another update tonight, but I'll definitely update you guys at some point tomorrow morning or early afternoon. Hey guys, it's just about 1 p.m. on Saturday. I wanted to give you guys a quick little update before I go eat some lunch because it's just about 1 p.m. and I am very hungry. But I have been reading The Duchess Steal by Tessa Dare on my Kindle. I've actually been listening to the audiobook and reading the ebook simultaneously, and I've actually been enjoying that experience. I've actually never done that before. But yeah, I am 58% of the way through and I am really loving this. I have a feeling that Tessa Dare is going to quickly become one of my favorite romance authors ever. Just to tell you a little bit about the plot of this one, we are following Emma and Ash. Ash is a duke and Emma is a seamstress, and she essentially just shows up to his house in this ridiculous wedding dress because she needs to be paid for making this ridiculous dress for the woman that Ash was engaged to. And essentially she broke the engagement to the Duke because he now has scars all over his face and on his body as well. And so he's a very bitter and jaded man. And so essentially he really needs a wife because he's a duke, and a duke's duty is to produce an heir, just like any member of nobility would. And so because Emma's standing right there and she seems to be a young and healthy woman, he basically proposes a marriage of convenience to her, and she eventually accepts, and the plot goes on from there. Yeah, this is really, really good so far. I'll definitely give you guys more of my thoughts once I'm finished the book. I'm hoping to finish this by like late afternoon, and I really want to start and finish a third book. I need to look through my Kindle and see what shorter romance novels I have, because I definitely want to be able to completely finish 3 books by the end of tonight, but we will see what happens. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this update. Hey guys, it is just about 6:30, so I wanted to give you guys another reading update. I did finish The Duchess Steal by Tessa Dare, and I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved this book so much. This is actually the first historical romance novel that I've read that I've given a full 5-star rating to. Yeah, I just loved it so much. I can't believe it's taken me so long to finally pick up one of Tessa Dare's books. I know for certain that she's probably going to become one of my favorite, if not my all-time favorite historical romance writer. I loved all of the characters in this, but especially the main characters. We have Ash and Emma. I loved how organically their relationship progressed from a marriage of convenience to the two of them actually really loving each other. And I loved the witty banter, not only between just those two characters, but between like every character in this book. There were quite a few times that I actually laughed out loud, which rarely ever happens when I read. Usually I'll just kind of like smile to myself. So yeah, I highly, highly recommend this book. I'm really excited to read the other 2 books in this series. The next one after this is The Governess Game, and the third one just came out, which I think is called The Wallflower Wager, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and I also recently found out that Libby has a lot of Tessa Dare's books on there, so that's really easy and convenient for me to just check out those ebooks and I can read them on my Kindle. So yeah, I'm just excited to like read all of her books now. I absolutely love her work, and I've only read one of her books. But yeah, so now that that is done, I actually started a 3rd book for this read-a-thon, and that is A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert. This is a book that I've wanted to read for a little while. I got it on my Kindle a few months back. I can't remember who recommended it, but I was really intrigued because it was an Own Voices novel. I've read one of Talia Hibbert's books before, but this one is definitely very different from that one. So this one is about a Black plus size woman who also has autism spectrum disorder, and it's just really cool because it is an Own Voices novel, and so I'm just really excited to see how the rep is for this. Like I said, I'm not very far into the book, but what I have read so far I'm really enjoying, and it seems to be moving at a really good pace, so I don't think I'll have any issues finishing it by midnight. And I think this is probably most likely going to be the last book of the read-a-thon for me, but I'm still really proud of how much reading I got done. I think if I do finish this book, I will have read over 800 pages in 24 hours, which is kind of crazy. Hey everyone, all right, the 24-hour Smutathon is now over, and I am very happy to say that I actually got through a whole third book, so I got to read 3 books instead of just the 2 that I expected to get through. So the third book that I read for this read-a-thon is A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert. I talked a little bit about this in my last update, but I thought I would give you guys more of a detailed synopsis. So this book follows Evan and Ruth. Evan is an ex-military guy. He has just moved to this small town that Ruth has been living in for most of her life, and she has kind of a dark past. Some years before the book started, she got out of a kind of abusive and obsessive relationship. And this is also a really great Own Voices novel. The rep in this was absolutely fantastic, as I knew it would be. This is definitely a slow burn romance, so if you are into those kind of books, I definitely would recommend this one. But yeah, I just thought that this was a very unique romance in general. I've just never read a romance from this kind of POV. For one thing, I definitely want to read more romance novels from the perspective of a plus size woman. So if you guys have any recommendations for books like that, definitely leave them in the comments below. I really loved the progression of Evan and Ruth's relationship throughout. Like I said, it is a slow burn, and I feel like their relationship does grow organically. And yeah, I'm also pretty interested in checking out the other 2 books in this series, and I gave this book 4 stars. I definitely really enjoyed it. So now that the read-a-thon is over, I thought I would give you guys a quick little wrap up of everything that I read. So the first book that I read is Only for a Night. I gave this 4 stars. This was a novella and it was 120 pages. And then after that, I read The Duchess Steal by Tessa Dare, and I gave this 5 stars. And I think this was almost a 400-page book. And then I read A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert, like I just talked about, and that was about a 300-page book. And so when I added all of the page counts together, I read a total of 817 pages during this 24-hour read-a-thon, which is really exciting because that's more pages than I read in my very first 24-hour read-a-thon that I did back in February. And yeah, I just had so much fun. Thank you so much, Riley and Lainey, for hosting this. I hope that there is another Smut-a-thon soon because I definitely had a lot of fun during this 24 hours. And that's going to be it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you would consider subscribing. Don't forget to press that notification bell button below so that you will be notified every time I upload, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!